Welcome back to Lumify. If you're new to Lumify, you might not realize that you have an entire automation suite at your fingertips. And that allows you to automate emails, automate any sort of action really based on time. So it could be daily, monthly, weekly, or based on events that happen within Lumify. So an event is created, a contract is signed, you receive a payment, and you can cascade any number of actions to occur after those events happen. And in this video, we're going to take a little bit of a different spin on automations, and particularly on automating email marketing. And in this one, we're going to talk about building out an automation that sends an email to a prospective client that chose not to book you. And the reason that we want to do this is to sort of increase our brand, show that we have integrity, that we hold no hard feelings just because we weren't booked for your event. We're going to send them an email though and just say, hey, congratulations on your wedding. We really appreciate you considering us. And even though it didn't work out this time, hopefully the next time for a birthday party or for any sort of celebration, you can choose us for your event. And we can send that email the day of the event, maybe the day after their event, just keeping you top of mind for those clients. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so here we are within Lumify, within the automation builder. The first thing we probably want to do is go in and just create a name. We want to name our automation what it is. In this case, it's going to be lost client. We put that in quotes. All right, and let's just hit save there. So the next thing that we want to look at here is the trigger. And under the trigger section, we're going to make it a time-based trigger. And just really quickly, I'm going to skip forward and talk about what that means. So if we make this a monthly trigger, these actions down here that we will define later will run on a monthly basis. And that's going to be monthly on today's date at 7 p.m. local time every month. Now, what we really want to do is do a daily automation that every day will run and will conduct all of the actions that we're going to define here, including sending an email to these clients. But what if we don't want the email to go out at 7 p.m.? Let's say we want it to go out at 10 a.m. Well, that's pretty easy. What we'll actually do is switch it to every hour. And so the actions will run every hour, but we'll add a condition under the condition section here that will allow us to condition when this automation actually runs. These are trigger conditions. So we can put in here that we want the hour to be equal to, let's say 10, because we want it to send at 10 a.m. every day. And we hit save. So now what will happen is this automation will only run these actions if the hour is equal to 10 a.m. local time. And we can do a quick test of that. If we hit run now, we'll see over here on the right side that conditions passed is false. And we can even confirm that further by going into the automation log. And we'll see that the conditions passed is false. And that's because it's not 10 o'clock right now. So what we've established here is that this automation will run every day at 10 a.m. The next thing we want to do here is we want to grab a list of events. And this list of events is going to be filtered on events that have the status of lost, that are in the past or maybe on the same day. And from that list of events, we can then extract out client names and we can send out an email. So first things first, let's grab a list of models. And the model is going to be an event. So we're going to get a list of events. And under the conditions here, we're going to set up a condition where n days, it sounds weird, but I'll show you what that means. So where date n days, where the date is equal to -1 in there, it'll be where the date is equal to 1 day ago. Right? If you wanted to send this on the day of the event, we can just hit 0, and it'll well, actually we can, there's a couple things that we can do here. Let's just back up for a second. We could say where date is equal to today, right? And actually I would switch that to a where date. So it's going to use a date comparison. So where date is equal to today, we'll send it if their event is on that day, and it'll send emails to clients on the day of their event. But what we really want to do, or at least what I want to do, is send the client an email the day after their event. So we're going to say where the event date was 1 day ago. So the day after their event, they're going to see an email at 10 a.m. Cool. So another filter I want to add here is the status of lost. So we want to make sure that we're filtering out only events that we did not end up winning or doing. So we're going to add a condition. We're going to say where relation, event status, label is equal to lost. Now, this is going to depend on the event statuses that you have defined. You should confirm what your event statuses are. Maybe you've relabeled this to didn't win or didn't book, something like that. You want to make sure that this value equals that label that you've set before. By default, the label is lost. So hit save there. And then we're going to do another one, potentially, right? So we can say where relationship, event type, label is equal to wedding, maybe, right? So you might have different emails for weddings. You might have different email for birthday parties or corporate events. You can choose how you want to do that. In this case, I'm going to do wedding. I'm actually going to change this to contains because I've split up ceremonies and receptions in my Lumify instance. So anything that contains wedding. Cool. I'm going to hit save there. Let's hit save. And let's actually just do a quick test. And for testing purposes, I'm actually going to delete this condition and I'm going to change this to daily. I'm fine with it. For testing purposes, I'm fine with this sending at 7 p.m. Hit save and let's run this and see what happens. So now what we'll see is that the condition was true here. And so the actions are now running. Conditions passed is true. And we can confirm that again by coming in here and we'll see that condition passed is true. But what we'll see is that under our filter models action, this filter models, what we'll see is nothing was returned. And so let's go quickly make an event that happened yesterday and see if we can't get filter models to show up with something. All right, so now that we have this test event, we should be able to go back into our automation and run it again and see if we can't get an event back. Take a look. There we go. So now under filter models, we'll see that we got that event that we just created. We'll see that it has a title of test event that was lost. And underneath context, we'll see that there is in fact a contact listed here, example contact. Cool. So now what's next? Well, we got to do a loop because when we get back our list of events, what we're actually getting back is an array. It might be 5 events, it might be 1 event, it might be 0 events, but in any case, it is an array of events. We are expecting that multiple events will be returned back from that action. So we need to loop through those events. So if we go to logical actions, we go add actions, logical actions, and for each loop, we should be able to select get a list of each event. And now we can put in actions under this loop. Let's add an action here. And let's use the send an email action. That's what we want to do here. And we're going to send an email to an event, right? We're going to use the event as our input for this email. So what we can choose here under our input is each event in the loop, because we're in a loop right now. And each time this loop iterates or runs through its loop, you're going to get a different event. So we can use this input, the for each loop _n. And now we need to add some conditions. And what these conditions will do is limit which contacts on this event will receive this email. And in our case, we only want contacts that are listed as clients to receive this email. If I go in here and I hit where relation, you can choose contact type, choose label is equal to client. Hit save. So now only clients will receive the email that we're about to write. And so now we write the email. Congratulations, congrats on your big day. Hi, right? Yeah, we could say hi, contact.name. And if we want it to be first name, we can do something like this. We can, I'm just going to copy. I have some sample text here. I'm just going to copy that over. So we can say something along the lines of, even though we couldn't be a part of your big day, the Lumos team wanted to send you a heartfelt congratulations, blah, 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 whatever. So now the email's written. Hit save, hit save. And what we can do is we can test to see whether all of this is wired up correctly. So let's do that. Let's hit run now. All right. So we'll see green check mark here. We've got a list of events. We can confirm that by looking down here. Filter models. Yep, we have our one event. And then we can look over here for filter each model, or for each. We've run that. Great. And we can also see a green check mark here for sent an email. That also successfully ran. Just quickly go and look at our log. We'll see that we'll see a bunch of green check marks, and then we'll see that our send email also sent. And you'll see that it was sent to example@lumifylabs.com. Fantastic. So let's go take a look at that email. Here is that email that was sent out. So it was sent to example, even though we couldn't be part of your big day, blah, blah, blah. So it's pretty cool. On a daily basis, this is going to run any events that you have in there. If there's no events for that day, it's not going to run. There's nothing to run on because this for each loop is only going to run if there are events to send an email for. And that's pretty much it. It's as simple as that. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you can have a really complex, really advanced automation running and performing email marketing on your behalf without you even having to think about it. It's one less thing to think about, one less thing you have to do every day. This will just automatically happen. And that's the power of Lumify. I'll catch you in the next one.